Well, today's a big day in the NFL, and then it kind of dies down, and there's no games until a week from Thursday. Then the season kicks off. Today's a big day, so we'll keep our eyes on that Indianapolis situation. Will Jonathan Taylor be traded? Apparently, the Dolphins are still engaged in talks, and there's a mystery team, apparently, for the 24-year-old all-pro running back.
I wonder who that is.
That story continues.
Maybe Jerry Jones.
Yeah, and also, hey, I said in the headlines.
The way things are going, it's like Jerry's like, I got him.
But congratulations to lifetime Longhorn Cameron Dicker.
Ty wants to jump all day. He's like, oh, wait.
It's like he's hot at the crap stable right
Yeah,
now.
right. That's a great
Keep making
analogy.
trades. Keep making trades. Come on.
Keep making trades.
I'm Jimmy right now.
Well, we'll talk. We'll get to behind the burnt orange curtain coming up. But as we say, congrats to Cameron Dicker, the lifetime
That's
Longhorn.
great news.
Well, he had a great camp, and you just wondered what the Chargers were going to do because Dustin Hopkins, their under contract kicker, who'd been their kicker, the heir apparent, had been injured. So that gave Cameron Dicker the opportunity. And he had a really good camp and throwing a strong leg and wasn't missing kicks. And so they get to this point where you got to get rid of one of them, and they trade him to Cleveland. And the Browns were looking for a veteran kicker. I wonder if the Cowboys should have been involved in that instead of trading for third-string quarterbacks. But either way, Dustin Hopkins is now going to the Browns, and that means Cameron Dicker will be your kicker, which means now you have your fantasy drafts. You Longhorn fans, you can draft Cameron Dicker and Justin Tucker if you need to for your kicker. You got to have a kicker on your fantasy team.
Got to have a good kicker, huh?
And the Longhorns kind of race to get Tucker because Tucker's, man, that guy's an assassin back there.
Oh, man, he's talking about goat stuff.
Yeah.
But talking about Cameron Dicker, though, he had an end to last season that was pretty good, right? He had, I believe he was special teams player of the week at one time in the NFL.
Yeah.
He was both AFC and NFC special teams player.
I think you're right.
Well, he
yes,
kicked a couple
you're
of
right.
game winners.
Good point.
Kicked a couple of game
He
winners.
played for the Eagles. He played for the Chargers.
And was clutch
Yeah,
for
both of
both.
them.
Yeah, no, I think he earned him a job. So I understand. He's probably cheaper than another guy. I haven't looked at the salaries, but I'm assuming he might be a little cheaper.
We will keep an eye on that waiver wire today because there were, 41 Longhorns in training camps around, all-time Longhorns, and so trying to make spots. And so far, Colt McCoy's the only one that's released. I was keeping my eye on that Chargers situation because they weren't going to keep two kickers, and obviously they make the trade. So Cameron Dicker is in L.A. So
some guys will be cut, and then they'll be brought on practice squad. So really, it's tough until like tomorrow to really until everything's kind of settles.
And some guys will get cut and then brought back once people are put on the IR and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So a bunch of wink deals.
Yes. So it is. It's a little tough right now to get everything, but it's some guys, man. Trust me, I've been those guys.
Hey, Malik Jefferson might make the roster for the Cowboys.
Maybe. And they're a linebacker.
And I love that they've expanded the practice squad now. Now you can have older guys on the practice squad, and you can stay on the practice squad for longer. So that also is really good for the guys too. So,
well, and you live this, Rod, and I heard Louis Riddick from ESPN saying this yesterday, and it's pretty poignant that people will hear these cuts and won't think much of them, but it is really hard to measure just how much commitment it takes for someone to put their time in to try to make one of these teams, and the work and the off season and the blood and the sweat and the tears and putting your body on the line. And today's the day where you find out if you have a job or not. And if you don't, then what's next? I mean, you've lived that life. That's not an easy thing. And we all have jobs we have to perform, but man, this is a business.
Yeah, no, it's I always describe it as, unfortunately, it's a day where a lot of dreams die.
Yeah,
and we all have in our lives where certain dreams just have to die as you move on in your life as you get older, and that's just the way it is. And unfortunately, it's what some of y'all Ty's football dreams died, long ago. You're whatever, you're a baseball player.
And I cried like a baby.
Exactly.
The moment I realized, like, damn,
I'm never gonna play again.
That's it.
That was it.
Yeah. It's like my entire life leading up to that point.
Exactly.
Just no more. Like, what?
So people have been there. They got their own kind of journey in it. But think about some of these guys have been playing this game now. They're probably, 25, 26, and they've been playing this game for 15 years or something like that. And their journey is going to end. Like, that dream is going to die. And that's kind of put in perspective for me that, and you got to, if you have been through it, then you understand some guys are just trying to keep that dream alive as long as they can. The average career is 3.5 years. You know what I mean? That's just the reality. You're living your dream. You always want to be a sports radio guy. You're living your dream right now.
Well, and that's right. And it'll come to an end someday. But that's the hard part for me to get my head around is that, Ty's dream came to an end at 18. Yours, but when you're 24, 25, 26, and that dream is now, you're cut, you get the cut down day, and now you're out.
And when you're in the NFL, you've been that guy. Like
Yes.
you've been the
Oh,
best
you've been
player
that guy.
Yes, you've
on
been the
most of the
star.
teams your
Yeah.
entire life.
Yeah.
So getting cut, you're like, what?
Now you're just a jag.
Not
You're
that
just-
I know how that feels.
You're
but-
just a jabroni now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you realize, like, oh no, dog, you're just a cog in the machine. Like you're not special. You think you're special, you're not special.
And
You
it's hard,
learn.
and there's a lot of time and effort and
Oh, yeah.
work put into making those teams. There's no doubt about it.